Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina an'amta alayhim. Ghayru maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Ameen.
How does it feel to be a Guggenheim Fellow?
Oh, how does it feel? Fantastic. Guggenheim Fellow, wow. Once again, that was something that wasn't on my radar. Sure, I wanted to be a fellow of something. I thought I was going to be a Pew Fellow before I was a Guggenheim Fellow. So the story goes how all this transpired. And it goes back to the bees. I'm working on as artist in residence with the Philadelphia Beekeeper Guild on the grounds of Arboretum. And this is my second year at Arbory. And the first year, never got stung, never had to wear the whole beekeeper suit or anything. This was whatever gear I had on in terms of kimono or my thobe or a suit or tie, whatever I wore, never had the hat on, none of that. And that was a whole year. But the second year I go out, and it's early March, so it's early in the season. And I get stung 3 times within 15 minutes. And I'm like, what the heck is that? What did I do? I did something to somebody? Bad karma? What's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So I called the lead beekeeper, David Hurrett. And he says, Taji, you're the second person that said, the bees, are being aggressive. So he came over to the grounds and investigate and found that there were some queen bees breeding aggressive bees. So it took them about 2 weeks to figure out where that hive was and if it was multiples and take those away. And then everything calmed down. But during that process, I said, well, let me leave y'all guys alone because I don't want to get stung no more. I love y'all, but I don't want to get stung. So from that, there was this ruin on the grounds that was maybe 50 feet or maybe 100 feet away. And I start making installation work at this ruin. And I was doing pieces around Benjamin Banneker. I fashioned one scenario as it was his observatory. And I did another piece around Malcolm X. And I was staging the idea of Malcolm's assassination that took place at the ballroom. So fast forward from that, I'm starting to pack up because Ramadan is coming. So I'm gather my things, packed up. I was happy with everything that transpired at the space. But also I'm overhearing that some artists are coming and they're going to be on the grounds. But I didn't know where at on the ground. So I got my stuff together. So I leave a door and a chair at the ruin site, but they were inside in this, one little section. So I figured I'd just come back another day and come get it. But when I do come back on the grounds, the chair and the door is moved to the outside on the back side of the ruin. Like, why would somebody do that? So, and then they say, maybe the artists are here. Maybe this is the space they're going to work with. So fast forward some more. It's a group called the Future Farmers. And they were brought in town through this program called Streetworks that was curated by Marion McDougall. And this was a Pew grant or Pew-funded activation, installation. So this was a 3-year project, and this was the last year to build on this ruin. So the architect, Loda, and Amy Francescini, who was the lead artist, we become friends. as they're building this ruin out, utilizing the fallen trees and turning it into timber to build this ruin. And I'm getting fascinated by their work. And little collaborations happened there and there, and I chimed in here and chimed in there. And we get to know each other so well that I go to a dinner one day and I'm telling them about, we sitting down at this dinner and licking my wounds of not getting the pew. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't get the pew, da-da-da-da. And Amy says, Taji, you know what? Since I've known you, I slowly delved into your work. I went online and I went to your website and I watched every video. And then I went to your YouTube page and I watched every video on your YouTube page. And because of what we was able to do together on the grounds at Arbery and my doing so, I will recommend you for a Guggenheim because I'm a Guggenheim Fellow. I'm like, oh, that's how it works. So she says, not quite. You have to fill out an application. It's an open application. So for people who don't know out there, the Guggenheim opens the application every August, I believe it is. So at that particular time, when she says this to me, it just so happened it was, I think like October 1st or 2nd, somewhere around there. So that means the application was open for a whole month. So I had 2 weeks to go to the website. I had 2 weeks to fill this application out instead of 2.5 months or whatever it was. So I've already been doing all this work around Benjamin Banneker and said, this is my grant project. I already knew Calculating Banneker is Taji Nahl's TR7's grant project. However, I had the components all over the place. Never had it as a concise package. So within 2.5 weeks, I made it a concise package. And when I presented it, with the help of Amy Francesini, to help, okay, Taji, yes, this is all good. Yeah, lead us out, add this, da-da-da-da. I kid you not. I got a couple of people that did references for me. So a couple of PhD guys, John Henn, PhD, and Arthur Francesini, authors Sabatini, PhD. And I'm like, I love what they wrote. It was very humbling. And then I also got another gentleman who is a Guggenheim Fellow, Raphael Xavier. So I had 2 recommendations from Guggenheim Fellows, and then I had 2 reference letters. And all 4 of these people knew my work. Now, Amy, she was the newest to learn about my work because I only knew her for maybe like 9 months, from them coming to Philadelphia to, work on their project. And I kid you not, I got the call saying, you have went to the 2nd and the 3rd round, basically. I got to the 3rd round. And then I got it. I'm like, all by God's mercy. And I tell you, the day that I found that I got it, it was Eid al-Fitr. The Eid al-Fitr is the end of Ramadan, the sacred month of Ramadan, and it's our day of celebration. And that's when I found out that I got, and we give gifts at Eid. And I'm like, that's like must have one of the alternate Eid gifts that I got this Guggenheim Fellowship. God's merciful. And I'm grateful, and that's all I can say about it. I'm like, with the name of God, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Thee we worship, and thine aid we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those whom you have bestowed your favor, whose portion is not your wrath, and who do not go astray. Amen.
Thank you.